New York Times bestseller, Unveiling the Mystery of a Woman's Soul. Captivating, revised and expanded. John and Stasi. Today I was gonna read this book and upload on the YouTube. 갑자기. Other books by John, Love and War, with Stasi, Wild at Heart, by Fathered by God, Walking with God, Waking the Dead, Epic, Desire, The Sacred Romance, co-authored with Brent Curtis. Captivating, unveiling the mystery of a woman's soul. John and Stasi Eldridge, Thomas Nelson, since 1798. To the captivating woman we are blessed to call our friends. Chapter 1. Contents. Introduction. The Heart of a Woman. Chapter 2. What Eve Alone Can Tell. Chapter 3. Haunted by a Question. Chapter 4. Wounded. Chapter 5. A Special Hatred. Chapter 6. Healing the Wound. Chapter 7. Romanced. Chapter 8. Beauty to Unveil. Chapter 9. Arousing Adam. Chapter 10. Mothers, Daughters, Sisters. Chapter 11. Warrior Princesses. Chapter 12. An Irreplaceable Role. Epilogue, Appendix, A Prayer for Salvation, A Daily Prayer for Freedom, A Prayer for Sexual Healing. Acknowledgements about the authors. Introduction. Now we are on holy ground, writing a book for men, wild heart at God, heart. Was a fairly straightforward proposition. Not that men are simpletons, but they are the less complicated of the two genders trying to navigate love and life together. Both man and woman know this to be true. The mystery of a feminine heart was meant to be a good thing, by the way, a source of joy, yet it has become a source of shame. Women almost universally feel that they are too much and not enough. At the same time, which is crazy making, and men tend to pull away from the deeper waters of a woman's soul, unsure of what they will find there or how to handle it. And so we have missed the treasure that it's the heart of a woman. Mr. Richney's femininity was meant to bring to our lives. Mr. Way, it speaks to us of the heart of God. Rest assured, this is not a book about all the things you are failing to do as a woman. We are tried of those books. As a new Christian, the first book I Stasi picked up to read on godly femininity, I threw across the room. I never picked it up again. In the 30 years since, I have only read a few I could heartedly recommend. The rest drive me crazy. Their messages to women make me feel as though you are not the woman you ought to be. But if you do the following, the 10 things you can make the grade. Maybe. They are, by and large, soul killing. But femininity cannot be prescribed in the formula. There is no one size fits for all. Pattern for God's woman. We have women friends who love tea parties and China, and friends who break out in hives at the thought of them. We have women friends who love to hunt, bow hunt even. Women who love to entertain and women who don't. Women who are professors, moms, doctors, nurses, missionaries, dentists, homemakers, therapists, chefs, artists, poets, rock climbers, tree athletes, secretaries, salespeople, and social workers. Beautiful women. Oh. So, is a true woman Cinderella or John or Eric? Mary, Magdalene, or Orpha? How do we recover essential femininity without falling into stereotypes or worse, ushering in more pressure and shame upon our readers? That is the last thing a woman needs. And yet, there is an essence that God has given to every woman. We share something deep and true down in our hearts. So we venture into this exploration of femininity by way of the heart. What is at the core of woman's heart? What are her desires? What did we long for as a little girl? What do we still long for as a woman? What and how does a woman begin to be healed from the wounds and tragedies of her life? Sometime between the dreams of your youth and yesterday, something precious has been lost, and that treasure is your heart, your priceless feminine heart. God has set within you a femininity that is powerful and tender, fierce and alluring. No doubt it has been misunderstood. Surely it has been asserted. But it is there, your true heart, and it is worth recovering. You are captivating. So we invite you to take a journey with us, a journey of discovery and healing. For your heart is the prize of God's kingdom, and Jesus has come to win you back for himself, all of you, to help your journey with written captivating. A guided journal. You might want to use it as you read this book. And gather a group of women and go through it together. We pray that God will use this book in your life, in your heart, to bring healing, restoration, joy, and life. And if God does that, it will be cause for a wonderful celebration with teacups and china, or paper plates, whatever one day we will all celebrate together. In anticipation and hope, May this little book draw you closer to God's heart and your own. 5 years later. It has been 5 years since John and I wrote Captivating, unveiling the mystery of a woman's soul. The stories that have poured in over that time are breathtaking. What God has done for many, many women has been glorious. He is setting his daughters free to be the woman they are created to be. He is transforming hearts and minds and lives and families and communities and nations. There is more to be done, more to be known, more to be healed, more to be released, more love to receive and more love to pour out. People today are desperate for meaning. They long to know that it is possible to live a life that matters. They are hungry for truth and dying of thirst for the living water. There is no greater mission on earth than to be part of God's great invasion and bring it to them. Bring Jesus to them. But first, always first, we must bring ourselves to Jesus. I love the story in Mark 5 of the woman with the issue of blood who, out of her desperate need, pushes through the throngs of people surrounding Jesus in order to touch the hem of his garment and be healed. You remember how it went. She had been bleeding for 12 years. She had spent all she had on the many doctors and treatments available to her. None of it had helped. In fact, she had only gotten worse. Now broke and heartbroken. She has an unlooked for opportunity. Jesus has come to her town. He is at this moment passing by. It is not lawful for her, a bleeding woman, to be gathered with other people, but she's dying, and she doesn't want to be. So against all odds and against the law, she presses through the crowd and presses into Jesus. She reaches out with all the strength she yet possesses and touches him and is instantly healed. Wow! Let that sink in for just a moment. She instantly healed. This story is one of the most treasures of the gospel. The Bible tells us that Jesus never changes. Hebrews 13:8. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Jesus still has the power to heal us as women, to touch us, to restore us in our places of deepest need. And we all have need. All of us. In fact, some of us have been bleeding much longer than 12 years. What do you long for Jesus to do for you? What places in your heart are crying out for healing? Where have you lost hope? What do you need to press into Jesus for? We want to encourage you to do just that. As you read this book, ask Him. Press into Him. Ask Jesus to come for your heart. He loves to do that. In fact, it is why He came.